In this tutorial, we're going to talk about the weather component. The weather component includes both the US and international weather forecast for free. You can use both animated and static images, and you can assign the weather to the timeline once you've configured the scene. So we'll cover all the different aspects of the weather component and show you how to set it up. So looking at our campaign, we have a channel right here, channel 0, that has no content, and we would like to go ahead and add weather content to this channel. So the first thing we need to do is switch to the scene editors. So go under navigation and the scene editor to open up the module. So when using the scenes, you have two options. Option number one would be to create your completely customized scene that you can lay out your weather items any way you like. The other option would be to import an existing scene. So let's go ahead and show you how you can import existing scenes or existing templates that we've created for you with pretty nice weather configuration. So let's do that first. Go ahead and click on the import right here. And here we are presented with the different scenes that we can import. So let's switch over to the weather and just pick the first one. And you can see that we have a nicely animated 3-day forecast weather configuration. Let's go ahead and switch to the second one. And again, you can choose whatever weather configuration that you like. So let's go ahead and select weather 2 and click OK to import it. And you see that it was imported into our scene area, and now we can start working on it. Now let's go ahead and zoom out a little bit so we can see more of the screen and minimize the navigation. And over here you can see that the layout is built from different items or different weather items. So for example, if I select the first weather item over here, the image, you can see that right now it's set for the forecast of today. It has a field of an image, and the weather style is going to be an animated style too. If I go ahead and select the second image, it has a forecast of tomorrow, a field just like before, an image, and the same weather style. And because this is a scene, anything is fully customizable. So if I select, for example, the first day, I can change the color, I can change the font size. If, for example, I select the background, I can change the size of the background, I can change it, put a different image. So again, everything is very customizable and you can really edit it any way you like. So now that we've covered showing you how to import existing scenes or scene templates, let's go ahead and show you how to create a new scene from scratch and add your own weather items. So if you don't like any of our designs, you can simply create your own. So we'll switch back here to the navigation, click on the plus sign to add the brand new scene. Let's go ahead and call this our weather scene 2. And over here switch to components. Under components, you'll find the weather item, and you can go ahead and drag and drop 3 weather items. So over here we have 3 weather items. For the first field, we'll go ahead and set the day to be today and the field name to be day name. The second one is going to be for tomorrow and also day name. And for the third one, we're going to be in 2 days and also day name. And let's go ahead and add 3 more weather items. And these will be just our images. So we'll go ahead and select again for today, set an image, and set a static style image. For the second one, tomorrow, image, and static. And just to show you the difference, we'll go ahead and select for the third image, select an animated weather. So again, in 2 days, image, and set an animated style 1. So we went ahead and set 3 days with 3 images using the weather item. Now before we move on and show you how to actually apply this scene to the timeline and show you the actual weather, how it works, I would just want to show you one more thing. So let's go ahead and select the background of the scene to load up the scene properties. And you see over here under MIME type, you can set the scene, and by default the MIME type is just a scene. But what we're going to do is for this particular scene, for weather scene 2, we'll set a MIME type of weather. So we'll only do this for our weather scene 2, but we're not going to do it for our imported scene. The weather 02, we're not going to go ahead and apply a MIME type. In fact, if we switch over here and look at the MIME type of this scene, you'll see that it has just a MIME type of scene. But the weather scene 2 will have a MIME type of weather. And I'll go ahead and show you the difference when you set the MIME type on the timeline. So let's go ahead and switch back to the timelines. And we'll switch over here to the scenes. And over here under scenes, you can see that we have both the weather 02 and the weather scene 2 that we've created. So first let's go ahead and apply the weather 02. And because we didn't apply a MIME type to weather 02, the process of adding it to the timeline is a little bit more complicated. What you actually have to do is switch over to components, select the weather player, drag and drop it to the channel that you want to specify the weather on, double click to load up its properties, switch back to the scenes, select weather 02, drag and drop it to the properties of the weather player. We'll go ahead and put in USA and punch in zip code and press enter to apply it. Let's go ahead and make a little more room here. And you can see we have a nice fully animated weather. However, with the weather scene 2, since we've applied a MIME type to it, the application knows that this is specifically a weather scene, and therefore you do not necessarily have to add a weather player to the timeline like we did before. In fact, since the weather scene has a MIME type, you can take it and apply it directly to the timeline, and you see that it already has the icon indicating this is a weather item, again because it has a MIME type. Double click to load up its properties, just like before. Go ahead and punch in the zip code and press on enter. And you can see again that we can see the weather just the way we built it for the weather scene 2. And the MIME type allowed us to skip the process of having to add first a weather player and then bind to it. So it's just a shortcut. So if you have a scene that's specifically designed for one type of an application, for example for weather, simply set a MIME type and you can drag the scene directly to the timeline. Now, last couple of things I wanted to show you is that if you want to set the temperature in Celsius instead of Fahrenheit, you can click over here. And you can see that the values will change. Also, for international weather, you can go ahead and select this radio button just over here and punch in your city. Press on enter and select the country/city. One note is that as of this recording, for international, we only support current, today, and tomorrow. This may change in the future, but currently, again, we only support really just 2 days for weather forecast for international, non-US. Now, if you're interested in full 5-day forecast for non-US, there are other options like Flypaper or ScreenFeed, and you should check out other video tutorials for that. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial, and thank you for watching.